Hi everyone, welcome back to The Woman Next Door. I am Anukriti. If you're new here, this is a podcast about real Indian women, juggling careers, motherhood, relationships, and everything in between. Today I want to ask you one question. Whose blueprint are you living? I grew up on DDLJ, on Kasauti Zindagi Ki, Kahani Ghar Ghar Ki, all of those cringe movies and daily soaps. Judge me all you want, but this is what I used to watch growing up. And there was one thing common across both: the heroes who would move mountains, cross borders, fight families, all for the women they loved. And the women, they looked beautiful. They waited. They cried gracefully. They compromised. Simran had Kuljit, a perfectly decent man she didn't love, and she was expected to marry him anyway. Prerna had Mr. Bajaj, again, not her choice, but her fate. And somehow, we were supposed to root for these women, admire their patience, their grace, their ability to adjust. I absorbed all of it without realizing it. The idea that love looks like a man doing the impossible, and the woman's job is to be worth fighting for, and then to wait. What were the women doing, honestly, barring just looking good, crying, and waiting? I ask these questions now, but I didn't ask then. And it wasn't just the movies. Because I remember some of my cousins being taunted at family gatherings or weddings that lose weight, who will marry you? And these were things which were said very casually, lovingly even, by the people who thought they were actually rooting for them, they were helping. And those same cousins today, they have earned degrees, they've built identities, they've built lives, married or not. And I'm so proud of them. They didn't cave. They didn't follow the blueprint they were handed. They wrote their own. I remember we were moving from UP to Gujarat, and I was in ninth standard then. At home, marriage was never discussed in front of us. So I don't know if my parents discussed it within themselves, but at least in front of me and my sister, they were wise enough not to discuss it. I can say it now. But at that time, I used to think that do they not care about us? Because I used to hear neighborhood aunties, bits of conversations which was not supposed to be for me. I used to hear it from somewhere and then feel that okay, some of the ladies are talking about the girls growing up and getting married or going to their homes, something like that. So I just wanted to bring that topic in my family. And somewhere in my mind, in my ninth standard mind, I was actually fascinated by the idea of marriage. I romanticized it. So one day I asked my father sheepishly, what will happen after we move to Gujarat? And he said, you will complete your education. And I said, then what? And then he said, you will get a job. And then I asked, then what? And then he said, फिर तुम लोग अपने घर चले जाओगे, which means you will go to your own home. And I remember feeling, okay, that's the plan. So education, job, husband's home, in that order. Simple. He wasn't wrong to say it. It was the only blueprint he had. The only one his generation knew. He was giving me everything he could see. And I didn't question it then. I was in ninth standard and I was the one who had asked. I had wanted that answer, honestly. And I also remember being told around at that time in a family gathering by some distant relative when I was arguing that you talk back too much. You learn a lesson when you get a monster mother in law. Imagine, as a young girl, this is what I heard. A young girl who was just asserting herself, and the response was, the word will punish you. So be quieter, be smaller, be more agreeable, or you will suffer. And then Gujarat happened. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen dramatically. It happened gradually. By it, I refer to the waves that were growing in me. I completed my 11th and 12th standard there and then my engineering as well. So 4 to 5 years of slowly having my word expanded without even realizing it. I saw women driving, not one or two women, but most of the women. I saw women addressing their husband with tu as equals, not with deference. Women who were fierce and unapologetic about it. I saw women running small scale businesses from their home, if not working in a job. Women who took up space without asking for permission. And my teachers in school, they were empowered women standing in front of the classrooms, commanding respect. So articulate, oozing confidence, showing me daily that a woman's place could be wherever she chose to stand. I saw a lot of love marriages around me and a lot of divorces as well. Divorces are not a stigma in that society. And I found some of the things quietly fascinating as well. In my neighborhood, in our society, engaged women would spend a lot of time in their in laws' places and future husbands during their courtship period in arranged setups, not in love, not even love marriages. Because they were not just accepting whoever was chosen, but almost like taking a test drive, staying, observing, deciding. Is this family's lifestyle something I can actually live with? Is this the life I want? And by the way, the city in which I was living then and I still have folks there is a tier 3 city. It's not Ahmedabad or Gandhinagar, it's a tier 3 city. It sounds simple, but for a girl raised where marriage was a destination, not a decision, watching women evaluate rather than just accept was quietly revolutionary. All of these things, all of these incidents, the teachers, the women around me, the test drives, they were building something in me slowly. A quiet confidence, a sense that I had a say, that I was allowed to have a say. So by the time I was 1 year out of engineering and the alliances that had started coming in, I wasn't the same girl who had asked her father, then what, in ninth standard and accepted the answer without question. Around the same time, there was a family situation, and my dad had met with an accident. And at that time, there was a lot of pressure from my extended family to at least consider some prospects and hopefully get married at that point of time. I was not mentally ready, but then because of the pressure, I kind of gave in and I spoke to one guy who looked good on paper. I told him that I wanted to pursue MBA and I was working at that point, so there was nothing hidden about my ambitions. I was talking to him during the lunch hours, and he said, yeah, by all means, you should pursue your MBA, but hopefully, we'd be in the same city after marriage. And I stopped him right there. I said, if I get into IIM Bangalore, great. But if not, I'm going to the best college that offers me admission, wherever that is. We never spoke again. I didn't do anything wrong. I just refused to shrink. And that was enough to disqualify me. But this time, I wasn't devastated. I was clear. Then I did my MBA, I moved cities. I was in Mumbai, then Delhi, Gurgaon, and then back to Mumbai. I built 5 years of career after that. And when alliances came, and they came with pressure, I said no. By that time, we had lost our father. So the situation was slightly different. The fears of my extended family had come true. Both of us were unmarried, and my dad had passed away. So I was told, your two daughters, please understand there's pressure you should consider. I heard the guilt in those words, and I still said no. Or if I met a few people, it was on the condition that I should like their profiles, I should spend some time with them, go on dates, and then decide. And at that point, I rejected the alliances because honestly, I didn't like anyone. Because by then, I knew what I wanted. And what I wanted was not to be chosen, it was to choose. I got married at 30 to the man I loved after 2 years of dating, on my own terms, after living fully first. That's not a small thing. For a woman raised on the blueprint I was handed, that was a revolution. A quiet one, but a revolution. And today, I am a mother, a corporate professional, and a podcaster, recording this at whatever time my baby permits me to, still writing my own blueprint, one episode at a time. See, I'm not telling you to reject your family or your culture or everything you were raised on. I am asking you one question. Whose blueprint are you living? Did you choose it? Did you examine it? Did you decide, yes, this fits me, this is mine? Or did it just seep in, like it did for me? And you've been following it without ever questioning whether it was written for you. Well, you are allowed to put it down. You are allowed to pick up your pen and write your own blueprint. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be a rebellion. It can be quiet. It can be one decision at a time. But it has to be yours. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.